Today, we are diving into the mind of the 13th century poet-philosopher Rumi. We're treating his work as a philosophical guide to understanding one of the biggest mysteries out there, love.
So let's just start with a huge question, one that philosophers have been chewing on for centuries. If you really wanted to find the ultimate truth about, well, everything, what tool would you reach for? Your logic? Your reason? The scientific method?
Well, Rumi throws a total curveball. He says the clearest path isn't through your brain at all. It's through your heart. It's what you love. I know, it sounds a little strange, so let's dig in and figure out what on earth he means by that.
All right, first things first. We've got to completely reframe how we even think about love. For Rumi, love isn't just a feeling you have and it's not the end goal. It's a tool, a really precise instrument, actually.
To get his point across, he uses this fantastic metaphor, the astrolabe. Now, if you're not familiar, an astrolabe was this incredibly cool ancient device. Think of it like a kind of celestial GPS. Sailors and astronomers would use it to figure out their exact position just by looking at the stars. It was a tool for navigating the vast, unknown world.
And that's his point, right there. Just like an astrolabe helps you find your way across an ocean, Rumi says love is the tool that helps you navigate the spiritual world. It's the astrolabe for what he calls God's mysteries.
So here's the crucial takeaway from this first part. We don't use love just to find more love. No, we use love to find everything else. It's the guide that takes us past the limits of our own rational minds and points us toward a much, much deeper reality.
Okay, let's keep building on that. If love is a tool for seeing what's beyond the obvious, then it must operate in a space that, words and simple explanations can't quite get to.
And this is where Rumi presents us with this really fascinating paradox. He basically says, look, for most things, explaining them with words makes them clearer. That makes sense. But with love, it's the complete opposite. Love, when it's left unexplained, is actually clearer.
Now wait a second. That seems totally backward, right? Our whole world is built on data, definitions, explanations. So how in the world can not explaining something possibly lead to more clarity?
Rumi's answer is that love isn't a theory you have to understand, it's a direct experience you have to live. It's kind of like trying to explain what swimming feels like to someone who's never been in the water. You can describe it all day long, but they'll never truly get it. They have to jump in. The experience is the explanation.
And he gives us this perfect analogy to hammer the point home. He asks, what's the proof of the sun? You don't need a PowerPoint presentation or a scientific paper. You just step outside. You feel its warmth. You see its light. The sun proves itself, just by being itself. Rumi says love is exactly the same. Its only real proof is the experience of it.
Okay, but this brings up a really vital point. If love is this incredibly powerful tool, then we have to be really, really careful to distinguish between the real deal and, a cheap imitation.
And Rumi draws this incredibly sharp line in the sand. On one side, you have what he calls false love, which he describes as a snare. It's all about appearances, it's deceptive, and deep down it's critical and destructive. But on the other side, you have true love. It's fearless, it's active, it's fast. It's not a trap at all. It's the way home.
This false love, it's a kind of spiritual hypocrisy. It's all for show. It's the person who talks a big game about compassion and unity, but secretly gets a thrill out of seeing other people fail. It's a performance, plain and simple, designed to look good on the outside.
True love couldn't be more different. It isn't passive. It's all about momentum. Rumi calls it swift of pace. It's a practice, a way you actually move through the world, directly, courageously, and with one clear goal in mind, to bring us home.
So, this all sounds pretty profound, but how do we make it practical? How do we actually do this? Well, in this last part, we can actually distill Rumi's whole philosophy into a practice.
It really comes down to these three simple things. First, you have to make a conscious choice to actually choose this as your practice. Second, you have to be what he calls a writer of true love, which just means you have to actively create it in the world through your actions, not just talk about it. And third, you have to trust the process. Trust that this path knows exactly where it's going.
Now, let's be clear, Rumi is no starry-eyed idealist. He's very upfront about the fact that this journey is not a smooth ride. He says the road will be rocky and uneven. You're going to face challenges for sure.
But, and this is the incredible promise at the heart of it all, despite that rough terrain,
The power of this practice is so direct and so potent that it overcomes those obstacles with unbelievable speed. It doesn't just crawl over them, it leaps. In a single bound, he says, it brings us home.
And that leaves us with one final thought, a question to take with you. If Rumi's right, if love, just like the sun, can only be proven by its own presence and its own action, then the question he's really asking us is a deeply personal one. It's not, do you believe in love? It's, what is the tangible proof of love in your life? What are you doing to make it real?